Testing. I think it's safe to assume that this is gonna work this time. Hooray! Now then, welcome to another Play Danger video. I'm your host, the cynical asshole, Zach Daniels. And today, we'll be playing more Ace Attorney. I wanted to stream this yesterday, but as many people would know, the streaming thing was down for a good while, actually. And by the time it actually fixed itself, it was already too late, so... Anyway, let's get on with this Phoenix Wright type situation. I forgot where I needed to go, but I'm pretty sure that if I walk around enough, something will present itself. Oh, we talked to the guy who owns the boat rental shop and found out that that's connected to the DL6 incident that caused Edward's father to be killed unmercifully. If you've seen my last video on Ace Attorney, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so he's not here. So talk to Detective Gumshoe. Hey pal, long time no see. You don't look so happy. What's wrong this time? Actually, we wanted to ask you something. Yeah? You know the boat rental shop down at Gourd Lake? Oh yeah, the old man who runs it is appearing as a witness in court tomorrow, right? Huh? How'd you... That was supposed to be top secret. Do you know who that old man is, Detective? Actually, I don't. He's a bit of an odd bird. I haven't been able to get a straight answer out of him. I decided first that he wasn't persuasive enough to stand and testify as a witness. That's why we called Ms. Lotta Hart yesterday. As for who he is, we have absolutely no idea. Sounds suspicious. Jesse, please help us. We need to know about the DL6 incident. That was when Edward's father died. I can't help but think that it has something to do with this current case. And I'm pretty sure it will. So, dude, I don't know much about DL6 either. Edward forbade us from reading the file. So I'm afraid I can't show them to you either, pal. However, if you can convince me somehow that the DLC6 incident relates to this case, well, I guess I could consider opening. I can do that. Yeah, no, hold on. I'm pretty sure I have some evidence. That parrot? The old man book rental is a new one. DL6. Don't forget DL6! Squawk! That was horrible. My impression yesterday was so much better. I don't know what to talk about that word. Yeah, how would that old man know if it's DL6 incident? If that old man was connected to DL6. You think he might be? Dear God, I hope so. Otherwise, then we got nothing. There's the station's records room. We need special permission to go in and find what you need. Yeah, let's go face the past. Or past. "10 years of files and 10 years of dust, I guess. 9 years old. You're almost through with 4th grade when you suddenly transferred. This feels like... Alright, so then let's talk to her about the case. December 28th, 2001. Go from the day after tomorrow. So in 2 days the case is closed. The incident took place in the elevator of the district courthouse. Where else are we? We're holding... Ooh! There's a large earthquake at 2 o'clock p.m. on that day. Hey, Super Saiyan! I was trying to stream again yesterday, and then you know that whole PSN network problem thing that was going around stopped me from streaming. So doing it bright and early today. At the time, 3 people were trapped in the elevator. It took 5 hours for them to be rescued. 5 hours? That'd be scary like that in the dark. There was a lack of oxygen in the elevator, and the survivors were unconscious. The survivors. One of the 3 in the elevator had been shot in the heart. That was Mr. Edgeworth's father, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. He said that his father was shot before his very eyes. So Miles Edgeworth was one of the other passengers in that elevator. Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney. If he were still alive, he'd be 50. Why do they always include that in files? They're like, oh, if he was still alive, he'd be such and such age. It's so weird. He had lost that day's case in court and got in the elevator with his son Miles. Miles out. Edgeworth, of course. So he was in the elevator with his father. From the angle of the bullet and other evidence, it could not have been a suicide. The pistol had been fired 2 times. Wait, where have I heard that? Right? Right, Phoenix? Right? I need it. That would be the guy that my mom got arrested. The man arrested as the suspect in Deal 6 was Yanni Yogi. Yanni Yogi? Yanni Yogi? I'm just gonna call him Yogi. Let's just call him Yogi. He was a clerk in the court, apparently. So he must have been the 3rd person in the elevator. Well, then he had to have done it. But he was found innocent, thanks to his defense lawyer, Robert Hammond. Hammond, the victim in our case, Wright. The suspect, Mr. Yogi, was oxygen deprived, so much so he had brain damage. He lost all memory of being in the elevator. After he was declared innocent, he disappeared. Where could Yogi have gone to, I wonder? What do you mean he may be closer? What? Generally, we'll have to deal 6 now. Still don't know what sort of impact the whole thing had on Edgeworth. I just take what we think we need. File on the D. Okay. That's probably all we'll find out. Just file tomorrow. What? Oh, where's my phone? Damn you, PSN Messenger. Why do you always do this to me? I wonder how Dad will be testifying in court. Maybe. 9 minutes in, and to be continued. Great progress, everyone. Now it's time for the day of the trial. December 27th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, apparently prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here, anyway? Mr. Wright, your opening statement. Yeah, very well, no opening statement, so... Objection! I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order! Order! Mr. Von Kammer, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, must you question everything? It'll be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to wait. I'll call my witness now. Call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand. He caught himself before he made another mistake. That mystery boat stopped on him. State your profession. I am the proprietor of the restaurant, the Wet Noodle as Score's Link. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, right? There, yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. Someone heard who this old guy is. There is an objection for that. Witness hasn't stated his name yet. If I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Blah! Boo-hoo! I predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions, cooperate. The witness will state his name. I bet I know what his name is. Or not what his name is, but I bet I know who he is. Or, not really sure. What do you mean? My memory, Your Honor. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. Well then, how is he gonna recall the events of last night? I said the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Alright, time to put on our contradiction finding hat. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual, and I heard a bang. When I looked up the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. There's something to question in my witness testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict. Yeah. Cross-examine, let's go. Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. If only to prove his prediction or not. 3 minutes just passed. Well, so let's just take our time. We cross-examine the witness. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yup. Wait, when did it be? Just after midnight. Yep, just around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yep. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did. I just wanted to see what his reaction was. Where the bang seemed to come from. This guy's already frustrating me. Yeah, I saw a boat too. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly, but I figured there was 2 men up there. You couldn't see them clearly. What time it is? Yeah, alright, another bang. What's on the boat? By your window. Yep, by my window. Right outside the window of my little shed. Did you see the man's face? Well, the fog's pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Dead certainty. He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by too. Are you sure that the person you saw was miles out there? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. Oh, he didn't faded! It sounds like the test is evidence to do. I see no room for doubt. You led me into cross-examination so you could set me up for a fall. Then something's glaring at us. I expected the trial's over. Your Honor, we further in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found in the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Exactly! That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You're ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness testimony is true. Oh, really? I don't see how that's gonna... This witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe she's dead. His word is all we have. Uh-huh. If he were telling a lie. Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Do we have evidence? Oh, she's prying to her sister. 3 minutes was perhaps too high in expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough, the witness may leave the stand. I think I might have messed up. Any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant? It's extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. I think I might have messed up. The pending trial of the court. Yeah, no, I think I might have messed up. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, snap. Larry! My good old buddy! I was there in the park. I knew he was there! I knew it! I called it! I called it a while back! There had to be a reason why his name came up as one of the options for who might have actually killed the victim. I knew it! I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Order! What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. But you say you heard a gunshot. Yeah, I did. A gunshot. That night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murder. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. No, go. Go. Now. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. But you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right, okay. Your Honor. If there's another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Ooh, he's deep in that thought, though. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. Ooh, Von Karma. Von Karma. The assault is about to be real with you. I withdraw my previous verdict of guilt. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Mr. Butts. I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now! The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. Yo, Larry just saved us all. He's like, I knew at some point I could repay you back. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Ed. Enough of your puns, Phoenix. Seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgewood. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake for the steel samurai balloon that flew to the lake. Alright. He found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Hey, Edgewood. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. I really hope that he did actually shoot the guy. That would just be like, we're defending a criminal type situation. But it really does sound like he's innocent. What's that? Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Because he stupidly picked up the gun. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lie on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. Right. Yeah. This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials. Ooh! Perfectly prepared witnesses. Perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. Larry, the guy who, for some reason, almost got blamed for murder of a person that he almost barely did. You know, I did that first trial really poorly, too. I'm not even gonna lie. It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it's 15 minutes. 15! Everything's on Larry now. Just blame it on the butts if we all fail. Detective. December 27th, 10:35 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Alright, Larry. Mr. Harry Butts, sir. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Carmen didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night, I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in at the rental shop dock. And just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. We've come this far. There's nowhere to go but forward, Nick. I was looking for something and I found it. You know what? I bet if I press him here, then he's going to have to add it to his testimony. There you go. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for? What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. That's surprisingly close to the truth in this sentence. It's all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Hold on. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Like, pretty wishy-washy testimony, doesn't it? Guess I should just start working on the contradictions. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call my sister. Okay, so we're just gonna go all the way to the end, because I'm pretty sure that's the contradiction. Yeah, what do you think about this testimony? I'm not sure I thought. So yeah, we're conscious. Okay, so that was wrong. That was wrong. What? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Duh. Wait a sec, Larry. You only heard one bang. You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night. Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please. Huh? You know something's been bothering me. I'm a witness here. I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? I love you so much, Larry. Mr. Butts. You only heard one gunshot, are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Not sure. How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was listening to something else. Something else. My radio, dude, with my headphones. Wait, so then how did you hear the first gunshot? And stop that booing! You were listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everyone listens to it. Yeah, I swear, he's the most offensive human being I've ever seen. So I got your opinion. Waste of time. I don't accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony. Uh-oh. You know what that sound means? That sound means I'm about to get copyrighted. Like, two different LLC brands or whatever, Sony and this other one, they copyrighted me just for that, whatchamacallit, just for this sound right here. Please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Nothing is more pitiful than the lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Class. Please give your testimony. Be sure to include details like your radio. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. It's only being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud, like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. You're listening to your radio at a high volume? Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. Sure enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio. Listening to a real boom loud, so I'm sure I heard that gunshot. Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good could knowing what a radio DJ said to you was? Question only if you see some risk. We should care. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't know? Fine. Very well. Mr. Bugs, please testify to this part. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? This must have said, hey, it's almost Christmas. I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real sexy voice. Maybe I thought I was right. I'm not sure how that helps us at all. Most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. There is one gleaming ray of hope in there. I press until we get to the bottom of what happened. Turn on the radio. Right. I just want to hear someone's voice, you know? You don't know what it's like out there alone on Christmas Eve alone. Can you prove that? No, of course you can't. Nah, I can't prove it. But I remember that moment real clear. I mean, while I was talking about it, it came back real clear to me. Dude, crap, I'm so terrible at reading. And so... Wait, hold on. Yeah, I thought so! Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. Something's the matter, Mr. Wright. You're on it. Did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas, when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard that gunshot after midnight. The photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Ms. Hart's camera. 12:25, 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order. What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. That the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious! Why? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? Larry's right, he has to be. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. This is my evidence. The murder weapon. Something about this pistol is bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. I knew this would come into play. I knew it. I was like, wait a minute, if it was fired 3 times, what does that say? When then was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That third shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. I guess that would make sense out of yesterday's testimony. You wasted your time against your empty statement. Just the pistol was fired 3 times. Do you have any proof that it was fired before midnight? Do you have proof that the witness didn't just think he heard something? Do I? Yeah, that has to be it. Was taken by our witness yesterday, Mr. Lotta Hart. Ms. Lotta Hart. Why did I call her Mr.? gender equality, everyone. Or gender, just No, just don't do it. 2019. With her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Yes? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why this photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha, correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, there was a gunshot at the time that Larry claims. That would make sense with the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. This is true, there were two sets of gunshots, separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you? Why? Oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshot separated by 25 minutes. Oh god, Nick, what are you thinking? I have it. I have it! Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. What do you mean? Maya. Yes. If we don't figure this out now, we'll never return Edgeworth's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Look at her face. She's so doubting it. You've already got it. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Your Honor, the testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? Tisk, tisk, tisk. So you finally realize the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man who was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant Edgeworth and the victim Robert Hammond were on that boat. So there was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, well, this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15 minutes after midnight, but Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. Oh wait, hold on. Oops, my bad. I'm sorry. Edgeworth and the murderer. That's the one I meant to pick. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous! Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... I really should pick I don't know, because I really don't know. But there's none other than Miss Lotta Hart. Investigative photographer? Yes. You're saying that young lady dressed up like Robert Hammond and fooled Mr. Edgeworth? This has to be wrong. Don't even begin to tell me that this is correct, because I'm going to be very upset. Okay, this conclusion based on a piece of evidence. That is, this photograph taken in 1150. If you didn't have this photograph, you never would have made this claim. Correct? And just who was it who went out of her way to give you that piece of evidence? Why would the murderer go to all that trouble just to deliver you decisive evidence? Guess they wouldn't. Yeah, okay, good. Good. I was about to say, they were taking so long with this. So I don't know about it. I don't know because he never told us. Ooh! The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. At 1150, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Caretaker of the boat shop. Where did he? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on the boat? There's the murder case. Should not be here? Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he can meet the victim without anyone seeing. Oh, there's testimony as you will. That night, he was out on a lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns. Law and order the game. Pretty much, yes. Pretty much. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by, which would actually be true. And that would be the only way he'd be able to hear it. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. Wait, are we... Please don't make me do this. Please don't make me put, like, pieces of a timeline together myself. Because I can't do that. I've had enough of that in Danganronpa. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50 p.m. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. And who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? I want to say the boat shop caretaker, to be honest. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Oh, this Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer fired twice. Had to fire twice. To create a witness. He shot twice to create a witness. The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind. I really thought that there was someone on land who shot him, and then they were like, no. I see. Someone looking from the edge of the lake. It would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why she shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once he realized that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Guard Lake. He banged the gavel and still didn't know what to say. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Look at him. He looks so rich. And I mean, he is, from the looks of it, and from the clips I've seen online, but still. You heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said that he has something very important to discuss with me. Something important. I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Mr. Von Commer, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all of its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. I know who he is. He was the third person that was in the elevator with Edgeworth and his dad. It had to be. He got out from under that guilty verdict. That was something else. Even Von Karmer didn't know what to do. No one knows what to do with Larry's testimony except Phoenix. That's the best part. Once I sifted through his unique testimony. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. The Edgeworth. And Mr. Edgeworth. Did you say something? Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax. I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth? No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind. What is this about Edgeworth? It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed. A memory of a murder. I think I know what he's talking about! Wondering if I should actually spoil. I don't know, because it's actually kind of juicy. Or at least my theory of it is juicy. I don't know. You know, no, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm willing to bet that he thinks that he shot his father in that elevator. That's what I'm willing to bet. But in actuality, it was the shop caretaker who shot his father. Because why would Edgeworth shoot his own father? What was this Edgeworth talking about? A memory of crime I committed. A memory of murder. Murder? I I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory is controlling him recently. But he'd never take someone's life. Never! The plot twist. Mm-hmm. No, Larry is the ultimate plot twist because he literally just saved me. I thought I lost the case. Winning in the auto time, winning? Me? Oh, yes, I do remember feeling pain. Yeah, because you thought that you lost the game. Right on, tell me the truth, it was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick? Huh? Me? Well, maybe my heart skips a beat or two. For all the wrong reasons, yes. I think you can do better than that. Come on, I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy. You guys should be bowing before me, yeah. Bow before your hero. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did. If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. 100% guilty. Actually, he would have been so guilty that his jail time would be guilty. He probably would have gotten the death penalty. Let's just put it at that. Seriously, Nick, that bloodshot caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. They just spoiled the mood, Larry. Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know? But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. Welcome to the world of Miles Edgeworth. I mean, he's not as edgy as maybe Edge Maverick from Star Ocean The Last Hope, but he's getting there. Can you really know if he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm going to believe in you two until the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right? Nah, he means me, right, Nick? Yeah, you, Larry. Not me? But why you, Larry? Actually, yeah, why me, Nick? Enough with the silent treatment. Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, sure. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? Kind of a jerk doesn't even begin to describe the kind of piece of shit that Edgeworth was. It was basically like watching a less wealthy Seto Kaiba. You didn't know him back then. At the academy. Cue flashback. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Yo, I'm definitely getting copyrighted for this music. I can feel it. Daisy, Miles, and Larry. They saved me and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know. And Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kind of forgot. Okay, Nick, out with it. I'm gonna hear the story today and that's final. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. Uh-oh. It was the very end of 3rd grade at the academy. I was on trial. A class trial! Ooh! So, that's where Danganronpa got the idea from. Ooh! The class trial. Who did you have to kill, Phoenix? Who did you have to prove did the crime? A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Ah, that's nothing compared to, you know, one of your classmates killing another one or two of your other classmates. Our school is really... No kidding. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money from lunch from... You know what? Actually, when I was in elementary school, we had the same thing. That's weird. Our school isn't nearly as small. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared. With $38... Yo, if you had $38 back in my day... I know, that sounds like me just saying that I'm old or whatever, but I'm really not. But back in my day, if you had $38 on you, you were practically rich. You might as well have owned every video game console ever. can see why you forget though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So he's the only one without an alibi! The killer is you! Or should I say, in this case, the thief. Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? So, yo, like, legitimately, this is where they got the idea for the class trials. I wouldn't be surprised at all. The class trial with me as the defendant. I didn't do it. Guilty. Give the money back. You're such a meanie. You know what? Play with them. Just admit you did it. You can't hide the truth. Tell us the truth. We're not gonna play with you anymore. Yeah, no borrowing my eraser. No one wants your smelly eraser. Give me back the 50 cents. Did you rob the bank? What is wrong with these students? Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Go over and apologize to me. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad. I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went to where the boy's money had been stolen was sitting. That's when it happened. Objection! You shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed, amateur. You know what? That does sound like Edgeworth. That does sound like Edgeworth. Look at him, he's so adorable! Oh my god! It wasn't you who stole my money, was... Yo. He was the one who got... You know what? Everything suddenly makes sense now. Everything suddenly makes sense now. $38, my dude? Really? No. Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That is why, Your Honor, this boy is the greatest defense attorney at the tender age of like 9.